So away they go in the silver goblets. It's Boulding and Tarrant, the Olympians back from Tokyo, the reserve pair for the men's rowing team, and it's Bond and Woodfine on the right of our picture from Vesta.
And Matt and Morgan have really just got a lovely start. They just took that first few strokes nice and patiently, building that big boat speed for the pair, and they're off to the races straight away. If I was in that Vesta crew now, what I would be trying to think about is trying to get as much speed as possible off the start and thinking about not really coming to a cruising pace, thinking about holding my high speed for as long as possible just to stay with these elite athletes.
Well, I mean, they really have. That's a very, very fast start by comparison, and I've watched these two in the spare pairs race at the Tokyo Games, and they row a pair incredibly well. They've got a huge amount of experience between them. In fact, these two pairs have, between them, these pairs have raced at 41 times at Henley. This is the 42nd year for each of them. That's a huge amount of Henley experience, but look at Tarrant and Boulding. They are going up towards the horizon. We'll see how far they want to push it through this race, but they really have. It's an absolutely blasting start.
I think that they will have probably rehearsed this. They might have even thought, dare I say, without any disrespect to the Vesta pair, that this may have been the situation, is coming towards the barrier. They may have had a pretty decent lead, so they'll be probably thinking about where they want to reserve their energy later down the course and making sure that they can get a time to make sure that they're on the speed and making sure that that boat that they're rowing in is essentially going very well.
Yeah, and you know, they haven't had a chance to show what they can do on the Olympic stage this year, and I've personally been in this position of being a reserve in the team. I think, you know, those of us who have, Cam, we know that it's frustrating. You really want the team to do well, but you also want to have the chance to perform yourself, and that's what they're kind of trying to do here. They want to come here and put their name on the Goblets trophy, and that is a trophy that's been won by so many epic pairs here. But let's just have a look. The Vesta crew, tons of experience between Harry Bond and Simon Woodfine here, 37 and 33 years old between them, 22 previous Henley appearances, and well, all they've got to do is show the best they can. They'll know that they've been up against it from the start, frankly, and they'll want to just put down the best possible experience they can, the best possible performance, so that they can hold their heads high and they reminisce about racing against the British pair.
Yeah, and this is one of our country's fastest pairs, so let's make no mistake, Matt and Morgan are one of Great Britain's fastest, you know, men's elite pairs, and okay, they are the Olympics pairs for Tokyo, but put them in an international race and they'll be knocking on the door of finals and really doing fantastic on a global stage. So I think it's, in a way, it's been a blessing in disguise that Henley's been moved due to COVID, and they have this event actually for almost closure after coming from the Tokyo Olympics and not racing for those medals. They have this opportunity, as you say, to win the Goblets and to get some trophy wear this year.
So Morgan and Matt, we just want to say we love you and we thank you for coming back to Henley and bringing this display to all of us to enjoy this evening of the semi-finals day, Saturday at Henley. Great display of pairs rowing. These two Brooks athletes, another example of the amazing system and culture at Brooks. Rowed together for years, been at the heart of the British rowing team for years, and some great performances under their belts at Henley.
And if you're a junior watching rowing, this is just a fantastic and beautiful example of pairs rowing. So I want you to first, if you look at the hull, how still it is and how it really sings along. There's real no kick left or right, there's no real sag, and the hull just moves really nicely. And if you cast your eyes towards the oars, you can see a beautiful symmetry in terms of the entry and the exit to the stroke, and all that does is it pushes the hull along really nicely and efficiently. Fantastic rowing from Matt and Morgan.
It's a really challenging boat to row well, Cam, isn't it, the pair, because you know you have to perfectly balance each other out, and that means how you hold the blade out of the water, how you move forward together, how you enter, and all of the things you just talked about has to be in perfect sympathy. And then of course you're dealing with the real world, right? You're not on an ergometer which performs exactly the same way in each stroke. You've got washes coming in, you've got wind around you, the boat rocks and rolls a little bit, and so you've got to be able to do that and make the platform as stable and smooth as possible. I think these guys, as you say, doing really well. One thing I like about their technique is just the way there's a moment of stillness at the back end. The backs and bodies just let the blade finish off, unfurl effectively, take the power of the last bit of the stroke with the blade itself, and that's a bit of easy speed for them there as they come through the middle of the course. The golden sunlight bathing the German M.J.E.R yellow hull there, so many crews use that, bathing it in gold, and that is great pairs rowing for everyone to watch.
Yeah, and for me, the word is simplicity. I think great rowing, when you watch it, it just looks so easy and so effortless. And I think that's what these two are demonstrating. And here as we looked at that Vesta pair, fantastic effort and really giving it everything. So keeping that rate high, making sure they give themselves the best chance of pushing that hull as fast as they can to try and get as close to Matt and Morgan in this pairs race.
Yeah, absolutely. They are giving it everything they can. They want to be able to come down this track really, really well. And, well, you can see on the right of our picture, Boulding and Tarrant enjoying the moment to take everything in. And, you know, we can't all do this forever and ever and ever. And so these moments are ones you want to soak up when you have the chance. Looking behind them, they can see the whole of the Henley course unfolding. These beautiful umpires' launches that we have, full of blazers resplendent from many clubs as the officials that make these races possible look down, ensuring it's a fair race. And behind them we see the rolling hills of Berkshire, Temple Island, and a unique setting which makes it the regatta that everybody wants to come and race in, everybody wants to win. And make no mistake, these guys are here to win this race as well. They're here to make their mark on the Goblets. Tarrant and Boulding pushing on towards the turret of Henley Church, standing there, St George's Cross hanging over the closing stages of the Henley track.
And I think credit to Harry Bond and Simon Woodfine. I think this is a season campaign that they've done multiple times at Henley, and I think that for them, what a fantastic way to end this regatta for them, which is that they're up against one of the country's fastest pairs. They're going to put together a race from start to finish and see how close they can get to them. Credit to them.
So mile and the eighth, not far to go now for the crew from Vesta, Bond and Woodfine. Take a look over the shoulder, Harry, just check that you're in the right place on the track, and there's not many strokes to go now, so let's see the best of you. Well done to these guys. Having a quick look, there's probably only about 25 strokes now in it for these two, so let's push on, let's hold onto the water nicely, and let's send it away. Enjoy the view behind you, enjoy this moment. Making the semi-finals at Henley is a huge achievement, and it's a great achievement for these guys from Vesta.
And glancing round is one of those lovely rowing moments where Harry knows where the other crew is, but Simon doesn't. So he can sort of tell him a little bit of a fib and just say, oh, it's a couple lengths, and really kind of get his stroke man working a little bit harder. So looking now as we go to this Oxford Brooks and Great Britain pair, fantastic, beautiful, silky rowing.
Yeah, I hope they're enjoying and savouring this moment, Cam, because it is magical out there this evening. Golden light on Henley, semi-finals day. Who knew it was going to happen at all this year? And Boulding and Tarrant crossing the line. A lovely victory for them. A victory to remember in the semi-final of the Goblets. And here come Vesta. Great credit to them. And Tarrant and Boulding, well, they can enjoy that and enjoy that memory. And that's the Goblets semi-final.